Welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna hop into a video talking about how to use actual exercises from our training to get warmed up for a given day if we are in a time crunch. I talked to lots of coaches who only have like 30 minutes with their clients, or they're just busy. Also busy professionals or people that are just on the go that don't want to spend 90 minutes in the gym. We could go the route of like more general warm-ups. So we'll look at people who are going in the gym, doing 5 minutes on the bike, 5 minutes on the treadmill, foam rolling, stretching, etc. Or going down the route of more drills that are specific to improving usually movement variability. So when I say that, I mean, okay, if I'm going to be pressing overhead, for example, on a given day, and I can't do that very well, what goes into that? There's kind of like mobility and stability. There's also just like general awareness and movement qualities that we're going to need to get there. So for example, I need to be able to organize the rib cage, so stack the rib cage over pelvis. I need to be able to get scapular upward rotation, shoulder external rotation. So maybe I do some drills that will fit into getting in those positions better, right? That's not for this video today. Today is looking at how we can do that with actual exercises. So I'll get into some examples here in a second. But first, if you've not already liked the video, please do so. Please subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. Kind of looking at the first example. Again, I want to really delineate between a drill and an exercise. So drill work is not really going to be high stimulus stuff. It's going to be something that's going to help us get into a better position on a given day, or build awareness, or just potentiate us moving better, executing better on exercises that are higher stimulus. So let's say lower body, for example. I'm doing hack squats on a given day, Bulgarian split squats on a given day. That's my main exercise, or my main two things I'm pushing really hard. What do I need from that? Well, I'm going to need hip flexion, hip internal rotation for the Bulgarian split squat. I'm also going to need a lot of knee flexion for both those movements. Doing an exercise like a seated hamstring curl on the front end of the session, this is what bodybuilders do really well. I remember watching John Meadows back in the day, and he was like big, like, hamstring curls first guy. And it's like, maybe we could look at it from a pseudoscience standpoint, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, hey, we are doing active knee flexion. We're going to be moving into an exercise where we really are going to be asking a lot out of active knee flexion. Now, concentric for the hamstrings versus concentric for the quads, kind of different, but generally speaking, we are priming the knee joint for doing more work. Now, pairing that with like a seated hamstring curl, for example, now I'm getting hip flexion, hip internal rotation, and knee flexion, right? So a little bit of stuff going on below the knee with some like tibial rotation. We're getting some hip internal rotation, kind of just by sitting in that hip flex position, and I'm bending the knees. That can help potentiate or help me move better on those exercises down the road without having to do a bunch of very like hip specific work. Now, if I wanted to really maximize that time, maybe I do warm-up set hamstring curl and I do some sort of drill with that. So maybe I do like a supported hip airplane, or do like a stationary lunge iso, right? Kind of go back and forth and layer in a drill with the warm-up sets of the actual hamstring curls, and then do my working sets. Now, kind of looking at like an upper body example, I love starting upper body days with like a high cable curl. I'm going to be expressing upper rotation of the scap, shoulder external rotation. I have to organize the rib cage in a good position and make sure I'm having continuity between the scapula and the rib cage. Those are all things that I'm going to be needing when I'm doing overhead pressing, overhead pulling, or just horizontal pressing, horizontal pulling, right? A lot of the literacy we need around, positions and movement at the shoulder, we can get from doing that exercise. And again, I could pair that with I love doing like single arm cable pullovers, right? Again, organized rib cage. I get pulled all the way overhead. So full range of motion from shoulder flexion, 180 degrees shoulder flexion, driving through shoulder extension. I can check a lot of boxes if I paired those two things together. Also, I can take my biceps to the house. I can train that very hard. Maybe some skill limitation in terms of how hard I can train that because there's no external stability. But I'm checking a lot of boxes from the standpoint of things that can warm me up. Also getting some more like higher stimulus bicep volume. My arms are small. I should probably do more of that. But you can see how we can layer these things in to get more out of our warm-ups, without getting super fancy and getting into the weeds of like doing all this like very specific mobility drill, whatever we're going to see corrective exercise online. Does that mean that we should avoid doing that entirely? Not at all. But again, if we're in a time crunch, we only have clients for 30 minutes, we're in a time crunch for our own training. Let's just say we're trying to maximize our time in general. Like, I feel pretty good on a given day, or most of the time. I don't have many restrictions, but I want to just hop into training without doing a bunch of like random stuff that I'm not really sure is actually adding any net benefit to me. Cool. Start with ham curls. Start with high cable curl. We can actually train the exercise pretty hard. We can use the warm-up sets of that as our actual warm-up, and then we can just get into training after that, having to do a bunch of stuff. It's not necessarily like higher stimulus. And again, like my favorite, for another example for upper body, I love doing like core work first. So maybe I'll do like a cable crunch with a rope attachment. I'll do a cable pullover, right? So now I'm going to be moving through the rib cage and T-spine. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to go through flexion, extension of the shoulder with a more static rib cage. a lot of stuff's going on there, a lot of moving parts I'm going to see on upper body day. More core work for most people is going to be a generally good idea. So again, that's how we can layer in extra exercises or just exercises that we're going to be doing anyways on the front end of a day to move better on our bread and butter stuff throughout the day without needing a super like hyper focused specific warm up. Let me know what you guys think. If you have other options or ideas you'd like for your own warm ups that are kind of general, like I just mentioned, that kind of help you get moving on a given day without wasting a lot of time rolling around on the ground or doing this, that, or the other, please like the video. Please subscribe. If you do need help with your own training, organizing a warm up that's very specific to you, or organizing your training in general, click the link down below as well, and we can reach out and talk about online coaching.